one man and one night. Will I regret the rest of my life just for it to be us two? With one chance and love inside, will I regret the rest of my life? Because I know what we have is true. Should I risk much that I own a good man and a happy home? Because I want you and need you. I can see us making pure love, crying out to the heavens above. Don't know what to say or what to do. I'm putting everything at stake to get to you. I needed you since I first laid eyes on you. Until I touch you and kiss you, I'm stuck thinking of you. Only it for yesterday or tomorrow, but there's no time like now. There's no time to waste or forsake. Let's make this real for love's sake. But I can't, but yet I want to hold you and take you away. Don't know what to say or what to do. I'm putting everything at stake to get to you. I needed you since I first laid eyes on you. Until I touch you and kiss you, I'm stuck thinking of you. Don't know what to say or what to do. I'm putting everything at stake to get to you. I needed you since I first laid eyes on you. Until I touch you and kiss you, I'm stuck thinking of you.
Have you ever fallen out of love? We hide and play dumb or change the station to push turns into shove. We get so clever at covering it up. Everyone knows our hearts in their holes. There's water in the boat. Bittersweet words dancing in my mouth, but I can't get them out. Truth is I'm tired of lying to myself. I've been trying to figure out what went wrong, or was it wrong all along? Truth is I'm tired of lying to myself. I've been trying. You ain't the one. Our time is up. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. We talk in circles and never bring it up. Just me and you, a table for two, but we're not saying much. Baby, almost could never be enough. Thirsty for more, the wine that you pour is poison in my cup. Bittersweet words dancing in my mouth, but I can't get them out. Truth is I'm tired of lying to myself. I've been trying to figure out what went wrong, or was it wrong all along? Truth is I'm tired of lying to myself. I've been trying. You ain't the one. Our time is up. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Truth is, I'm tired of lying. I've been trying. What went wrong? Oh, I said wrong all along. Truth is, I'm tired of lying. I've been trying. I'm moving on. Truth is, I'm tired of lying to myself. I've been trying to figure out what went wrong. Or was it wrong all along? Truth is, I'm tired of lying to myself. I've been trying. Our time is up. I'm moving on. Our time is up. I'm moving on. I'm moving.
Good evening and welcome to TwepTwep. This Thursday evening, we're going to be handling a topic that we've heard from a lot of you about joining and getting involved in. But before that, allow me to introduce all three of us. Yes, we do have somebody extra with us today. We have with us Frenchie as our guest host. And she'll be joining us in this topic about the pussy policy. And we'll be enjoying ourselves as we have this discussion for you guys. I want you guys to invite you to comment in the Facebook Live page. Feel free to comment there, and we'll be able to see what you're saying and actually share it with the rest of the viewership. Right now, we're not looking great on those numbers, but we're going to continue anyway, because this is TwepTwep, where we never stop until somebody goes Twep. I am the brain, and with me is Munashe, my weekly co-host, or my bi-weekly co-host. Together we...
Enchanté.
Funny enough, you're both the French. All right. And so weekly we get together, we do these shows, and we talk about how to bring intimacy into the entire conversation around social health, mental health, emotional health, sexual health. And I'm going to do a very strange topic on financial health and intimacy, and making sure that we cover the entire gamut of things. Before we get started, though, I do want to play a video for you, which is what this particular topic surrounds. Just for those of you who have not been able to see this video before, this is when we talk about pussy policy. This is what we're going to be talking about, and it's going to be shared. The ideas around the pussy policy will be shared by this particular individual. So we're going to switch to mute, and we're going to let her talk about the pussy policy and her understanding of it for the next 2.5 minutes before we jump into the conversation on the pussy policy. Here we go.
Fellas, I know that y'all have a major issue with parents, especially, or even feeling like you have to pay pussy, even though you know that you're paying for pussy. I know that that's an issue, but let me help you. See, the free pussy is the pussy that comes with all of the bullshit. See, the free pussy comes with trouble, distractions, attachments, feelings, fights, confusion, ugly baby mamas, children you ain't want. See, the pussy you pay for is worry free. And I know y'all gonna be mad like you knew. You supporting prostitution, bitch. Shut up. Cause at some point in your life you done paid for some pussy whether you know it or you don't. And ladies, don't let them motherfuckers make you feel bad about having a pussy policy. Bitch, you gotta put your pussy management skills on display for a motherfucker to see. See, because they could say all the fuck they wanna see. But everything nigga do is for pussy. And ain't no nigga sitting around in a group talking about the pussy that they paid for. Yeah, they don't. It's nothing to discuss. What you gonna compare prices, bitch? And you ain't gotta hear shit from her because she don't want nobody to fuck up what she got going on. But you know who pussy they is talking about? That's right, free pussy. The pussy that come from up the block, down the street, round the corner store pussy. The pussy that they ain't had to do shit for. So fellas, just relax and don't get so worked up when you hear a bitch say shit like pay, and take me here, and I need, you know, just think of it like this. You are part of a members only club. You amongst the elite pussy. You're paying for quality, exclusiveness, stress free, bitch. You pay for what you want. You know you do. Relax.
And that's the introduction.
Okay then.
Yeah. So the pussy policy, the idea that you are not, or the man is not just getting any and any pussy. You must make sure him drop a little money on it so that him can live a stress-free life. Not to put up with a talk. You get me? So I mean, before we even go anywhere, what I want to know from you two, and it's great that we have both of you here. But I mean, I would love to know, like, what do you guys think about the pussy policy? And I mean, I'm gonna give first answer to Munashe, but I mean, as soon as you feel free to jump in. Frenchie, feel free to jump in. And Munashe, let's talk about it. Like, what the hell?
I've never heard such bullshit. I mean, seriously, what the hell is she shoveling? I mean, and the sad thing is that there are many, especially young women, that run with this bullshit. They believe it. And that's a sad thing. Now, let me tell you, when it comes to the term, aside from the BS she just shoveled, the term pussy policy, I don't really have an issue with that. Every company has a policy that they stand by. And I do think a woman should have a policy. She should know what she's about, what she wants, and set her policy, have her stance, and don't deviate. Represent herself at all times. In that, if that's what you mean by a pussy policy, then I have no problem. But that bunch of crap that she just shoveled about it being stress-free and it makes it special, usually the pussy that you have to pay for is usually the one that comes with the stress, or the ones who think that because I think I had a post the other day with messages between a man and a woman, and apparently she was upset about something, and so she was withholding sex. And so I message her and say, you can't do that.
Lock shop.
Right? Because him some bare feet. You cannot do that.
Oh.
Right? And she's there carrying on like she's all Miss Thing, like she's some princess. Oh, how dare you, how rude, how whatever. And him say, but no, but that's the deal. Him say your rent up in 3 weeks. No, first thing him say, and you're not leaving, you're not going anywhere. Him say your rent up, him say if you have a problem, then go on. Your rent up in 3 weeks. So let's see what you're going to do. And what I found interesting in all of the conversation, she never tell him to kiss her big black dirty ass. because she knows she can't. So when a
Rotted.
woman is going to come with that kind of stance about you have to pay for it and all of that, you
Eh.
set up yourself, man. You set up yourself. You're cheap.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, before French even respond, we have a comment here that I'd love to hear either of your responses on. Um, the comment says
You
you
can have a
can have a stress-free pussy
Pussy
policy.
policy.
There you go. Well,
Right.
my
Right.
policy is stress free, that's for sure.
So you do have a policy. Hold on, man. I was afraid
Of
to ask
course.
before, but so you
If
do have
if
a pussy policy.
if
All
if
right.
I may speak,
Yeah, man. Go on through.
I feel as though I wouldn't say like a pussy policy per se, because I feel as females, there's nothing wrong with having standards about
Right.
oneself.
Right.
I feel like if you carry yourself a certain way, that's the way that you'll be approached. However, there are certain times, especially me back in the day when I used to go out, a man will feel like for buying me a drink somewhere or paying for something for me, that is
They say
enough.
when it is
If
hot up.
if a man took you out to have dinner or something because he paid for dinner and paid for drinks, that is something to say, okay, I can rent you or I can pay for you for a few hours. That's can we cuss? I feel like
Yeah, man.
cussing.
Of course. You know when
But
you're Munashe, of
Hold on,
course.
I
You
was
can
just gonna
cuss.
say she wasn't listening to me.
so it's it's
It's an adult
it's
show.
it's the worst. It's the worst bullshit I've ever heard. You know what I mean? There are females who carry themselves to a certain standard. So if I feel that as a female I should be approached and spoken to as a lady, then I should be treated as such. But in this day and age, this thing has been created, this new era, this new normal, this new where it's okay that things that used to be taboo is now out in the open. So it's okay for a man to say, yeah, I'm gonna buy you a drink, so you have to come dance with me. Yeah, I'm gonna buy you a drink, so I have to carry you home tonight, you have to give me a number. However, as a man, if you call to me and I don't feel like answering because I didn't like the way you said it to me, that's my choice, because
Right.
I don't
Right.
see. And in this day and age, I feel like women themselves, it's like as soon as you find a man on sleep together, then yeah, him supposed to start do these one bag of something. Your rent for pay and your bills for pay. Why can't she just get a friggin' job?
Well, darling, they don't even wait until they have sex, based on some of the stories I hear. From the man I try push it in, she starts, boy, my rent due.
No, no, no,
It's
no. But hold
yeah,
on
yeah.
there.
You
Hold on
probably
there.
meet and then she feel like say, all right, to send you a message and say, somebody see this dress pan fashion over, I want it for wear go Thursday night. So
No, man. When I go too far with this thing, let me tell you something as a man. This pussy policy thing start from the first night or the second night you talk to her and she knows her pussy movement say that one. Cause the first person I get, babes, send me a credit now. Oh, no, not talk about that part there. Oh, no, not talk about
Lord
the
have mercy.
oh
Well,
God, honey, I'm hungry, Without, I feel like a burger. Yeah, I want a burger. Or, Jano, somebody eat a KFC and he comes a boom and, I mean, the amount of time I would tell me, say, yo, them pick up a little chica and they must say, yeah, she look like she could have gone with that thing and she look like she could run it and them say, all right, here what, since we go back to the yard, we could stop a KFC and thing and, for them mind, them go to KFC and them either I go buy a meal deal or them I go buy what them call them there?
a
Wings
zinger.
or a zinger. Them something that you drive up and be just step on, here I want a 3-piece, I want a 3-piece combo, I want a mash, and I want a course, I want a can.
And don't forget the part of them have to feed them friend too.
Yeah, man.
I was just about to
Yo,
bring that up.
You
one bag of
understand?
something.
Because the friend hungry, so the friend are gonna say, yo, call up Davian and tell him say you're hungry and tell him to buy 2 meal deal. You understand what I'm saying?
You
Because
don't know.
the friend have to eat. You understand what I'm saying?
So no part of the pussy policy that. Isn't that a part of the same thing? Is not. I mean, it doesn't reach rent right away, right?
Exactly.
But the fact is, she had demand a little money from the man before she gonna wear.
And Brain, this is why I find it confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Young women love to talk about how independent they are and strong they are, that same stupid woman would turn around and say it's shit like what this young lady just said. A
But
man have to pay for this, and a man. Somebody say, hold on, how you independent, but the man must pay for. And if him not paying for,
so here how una gonna start beat me up now. Uno attack, but even the older ladies, the more mature ladies, the past the teenage stage ladies have a policy too. Because if you're not carrying
No,
them
but
too,
we all have a policy. We all
me
have
call
a
it out.
policy. We've
hold
not
on, remember we
Regency.
both
decided.
said, we don't have the
Mm.
problem with the term pussy
Right.
policy.
Right.
Remember, I pointed out, just like every company has a policy that they stick by, it represents who they are, blah, 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 blah.
So it's a
Right? And
practice
just
you have
like
a problem with.
The comments
so the
are
thing
killing
is,
me.
brain, remember, like in Eval Punani, I have this meme that says a woman must respect her vagina.
Yeah.
Because when she does, others will do the same. And that's
Right.
my policy. Right?
So
But I don't size up a man based on how much money he spend or whatever. And there was something I want to bring up, and I was like, do I? Because people get touchy about stuff like this. But let me get real.
all right.
The idea that the young lady is putting across is very ghetto. No, let me make it clear. When I say ghetto, I mean ghetto is a mentality. Because I know enough ghetto live at Cherry Gardens.
Right.
And I know ghetto live down so.
So you mean
It's a
Buto? I don't necessarily get a Buto.
Well, me call it ghetto because ghetto is a
Alright, go on,
mentality.
Joe.
It's
Mhm.
ratchet,
You know, it's like
what it is.
Yes, yes. Right? No, because you brought up something about don't we have it too in terms of where to go, whatever. No, I grew up middle class. So there are certain places that is commonplace for me. It's where I feel comfortable, etc. If I meet a man and that's where I can take myself. If I meet a man and he cannot meet me there, Munashe, I'm going to throw him to the curb. But that's where my people are at, if you understand what I mean. I'm
Right.
not comfortable going to the corner bar. And
Mhm,
yes, I'm very comfortable going to Regency. When I walk in, I see people I know, those are my peeps. Some of them I grew up with, etc.
So what you're saying is that, hold on, let me break it down. Me simply not.
Sorry, Brian, I see Andre has been sending some comments. You want to touch
Yeah,
on them?
man. No, me I touch on them after I say this. Because it sounds like you have a pussy policy that is universal, right?
Yeah.
But then it is a problem when it get ghetto. So but when it's uptown, because if me can't carry go Regency, then me can't get a pussy.
No. That's not what I said.
Look at what Mr. Guthrie said. The mistake is that the world has placed a barter value on something made just for fun and procreation. And so we enter in this thing of a transaction.
Right.
And a transaction value.
No, but that you have to understand from the beginning of time, there was always a barter value. Before,
and
back in the days, I don't know when, but before, men would have to trade in them goats. Men would have to present themselves to the fathers. Men would have to open doors, bring flowers, open the car door. It's all there has always been a barter. You understand? There has always been a policy. Now it's no longer that the what we used to call chivalry. It's now broken down into something more ratchet. You understand? So now it's that the female is now putting it out there, say we no longer need the respect of the courtship. We no longer need that.
No, but remember, they're no independent. They're no independent, so they can pay their own bills, etc.
Right.
And this is where the conundrum is. Women are now independent. Women are now independent, but they still want the man to play the traditional role, and you can't have it both ways. So when a woman is saying a man is supposed to provide and he should pay the bills, and I'm not doing no 50-50 and I'm not doing this. Mr. But hold on, are you prepared to be a traditional woman? And
right.
Get quiet. The traditional woman usually stay at home, barefoot, pregnant. She beckons to her husband. I mean, I was looking at some stuff from the 50s the other day. Women were considered stupid. She don't talk much about politics and whatever. She cooks, she cleans, she what. And I could go on and on and on. So you see the conundrum now. That's why I'm going to have to use a big word there. It's creating an issue.
Boy, I tell you, Guthrie say, What you say? What you say?
See previous statements to address
This
Shippy's
was
point.
all caused from the demise of the courting stage, or the
Mhm.
perceived notion of what courting is nowadays. So what he's saying, in short, if I understand him properly, and Mr. Gotcha, you can correct me if I miss it, he's saying, listen, when courtship was courtship, it used to be about acts of service. You know, like you pick her up, you open her door, that kind of thing. It's an act of service, and is an action that demonstrates some consideration and respect towards the female.
But
right?
it was always to get the pussy.
Yeah, but it was also to get the commitment and the relationship as well.
Right.
That's true, but now it's a time now. Even back then, it was kind. It was an act of service. You know, a gentleman would be a gentleman. But nowadays, yeah, I feel that guys now use that same trick. You know, he's kind. He will buy you things. He will take you places. But you know, he will pretend like he has a certain amount of assets. You know, but once him get the pussy, him gone. You know, and it was like that back then, you know. But at the same time, you know, when a man really wanted the commitment, he would go throughout the ends of the earth to make sure that, yo, that's my shorty.
Right.
That's who I'm gonna marry. This is what I'm gonna do.
And back then, if she gave it up too soon, he would run because she's too easy.
Exactly. You know, before, you know, girls would have to save their innocence up to a certain age before marriage. Marriages were arranged, but now it's different. Now a man can come and say, yeah, man, and just, you know, carry a girl go a Regency, or carry a girl go AC Hotel tonight, then tomorrow night him carry a go Sky Dweller, then maybe some big party come up and buy the ticket and him pay for it, and then she give him the cratties and him gone. No, it's just a front to get the pussy. You understand?
It's just a front to get the front.
Exactly. Right. But however, they were still following the guidelines. What is the pussy policy? You understand?
Right.
So being as how a man can come up front and say, yeah, you know, some like him, I gonna want some catches. A girl might feel like say she have the right to say, well, since I want some catches, my bills for pay.
Why that remind me of something that I'm going to take a chance on, in hopes that we don't violate any what them call it, you know, any IP policies. We have to be very, very careful, you know, any IP policies before we
Yo, the comments on fire, I'm not lie.
Andre, very true. But we say it all the time.
What them say?
No, what him said, but if you follow the Bible, men been a trick and a fuck woman from long time. It is the evil cycle of life. It's true.
That's true.
And it's the
That is true.
same men that put women in the position of having to depend on him. As I said, the confusion now is that, you know, women are independent, but they are still in the mindset. Them not, them mind not emancipated yet. You know?
Mr. Smith says, I completely disagree. We need to stop talking about values as though we're all European. What I mean, give me some more on that, Mr. Smith.
Yes, please elaborate.
Give me some more on that, Mr. Smith. You can't just let that there, sir.
Yes, please elaborate, Mr. Smith.
We need to hear a little bit more upon that time. You know, so we can talk about it, please. Rita. No, don't do that. Don't talk French them with a Lord God, my heart. Jeez. But when we have songs like this,
listen to you while I sing them. You know I'm not a soul. Away you want with my dirty governor.
Big woman thing, me a beg you some front. I train you with a teller, them a beg you some cunt. Enough man shy, me a beg you up front. And your pussy clump up if you get some rough thump. Your sister me a good, you tell her from the get-go. Enough man with a wait a whole month. No one you tell me about the butterfly in your belly. And don't video call me, show up with my love bump.
Alright, we can't play too much of it because you don't know.
Time, right?
Go away, don't sue me, please.
Please believe.
but Govy say, yeah, you know, him just a come up front. Him want some front. So I mean, why this entire lick out against the pum policy? Because I'm gonna tell you, say, yo, he want some front. But Mr. Smithy, I really want to hear somewhere about this values thing, you know. You're not talk to him, Mr. Smith. You're not talk to it. But while Mr. Smith type out in entire prescription, entire prescription, and I want to come back to this. I want to come back to what Govy is talking about. The man is saying, listen, you know how the thing set now, and me as a man know how the thing set now. The reality is you have a pussy policy. Whatever you want to call it, or if you want to look on it, whether or not you want to say you can only, date hit song man, or you can only date footballer, or whatever you want to call it, me no say have a policy. Just tell me what the policy is, so me can fulfill the policy, because right now, me want some pussy. What you would have right?
I'm here.
What about that?
And I have no problems with that. As I said, I wish I had the thing to put up, because the same woman who says she have policy and she now get no, man have to pay for this. When the man do like the one in the WhatsApp chat I had, and say you cannot withhold because I pay for that, I pay your rent, what you can't go away. She's going to start acting like a princess, like, oh, why are you treating me this way? And that's where the BS comes from.
Right.
Because I know nothing. If you decide that this is a transactional relationship, this is what I want. You bring the money, me bring the pussy. Then deal with it. Be upfront with it. I tell people all the time, some respect a prostitute more than enough woman out there going like them tighty, Because from day one, you know what she's about. Pure, and you get what you want. Right. Simple.
So what you're saying is, all of these high class women should just make it be known that them depend the pum pum policy, transactional idea thing, exactly. And nobody would know what for long talking.
Thank you. And stop going like you're a princess. Just be real, man. Just be real.
Princesses wear crowns, it depends on what kind of crown you want to wear. Can we put something on her head?
Anyway, hold on. Have you been reading the comments? What's going on?
I have. I tried to get Mr. Smith into the room right now. Mr. Smith, you should be able to, at this point, see something towards a link that will allow you to join this conversation. We can hear what you're saying, because as it is talking about, you've said here that these historical values, and the fact is that not all societies had this idea of a gentleman. And then we see.
We never said that though. We never
Hold on. Before you run in Panda one there, I want to call out the one female. Well, no, two females have said it. All right, we have one here. The difference from back then, from Miss Wickham, different from back then to now, is that getting pussy would equal marriage, so you get property and status. No, the women don't know the property or the status, so they don't need to wait on marriage to get that stuff. So now the man them have to give them the same kind of thing. Have to give an item they currently want but don't need. And then we have another female here, Adri, or call her Anna, or call her Adriana. We say at the end of the day, the man only responds to instinct, yeah? And a woman asking for bills to be paid, well, it's not her instinct. Men don't get attached, women do. So holy political madness in that mix up the two. And then women have the most powerful tool for controlling men. That's an element of the conversation we're going to need to have, and getting what they want while they're at it. So we've caught up with some of the comments, but Mr. Smith is here. I want to bring him in so that he can talk to us about a little bit more of this gentleman ideology and European historical values. Mr. Smith, I'm adding into the stream, sir, so you can jump in and start talking to us. Yes, Mr. Smith, you're coming with a laugh.
Why you gonna drop me out to the
night? Come in, bossy. What you say now? I don't say nothing. Me from mute, brother.
Here then.
Run in.
Well, I was listening earlier, and I was a bit concerned because a lot of the time we talk about we and our values, and I'm not sure if you remember that African people are and have historically always practiced polygamy, and not only polyandry, but also the other one.
Wait, no man, so much big word that you have to go give me some definition on them one day.
No, but what? All right.
What are polygamy and polyandry and
we're not have to discuss polygamy. polygyny and polyandry.
Yeah,
Everybody's supposed to know. Them days where they are
especially
common.
nowadays. Yeah, everybody I
Yeah.
use them.
That's like saying threesome. Everybody know what we're talking about.
Right,
all
right,
right.
right, right.
So to make it
Right. So
simple, a
when
man can
we're
have
talking about
multiple females.
values,
Hold on there, Yodi. Munashe asked something. Go on
No, I
to
was
Munashe.
saying,
oh, I
just to
didn't,
break it down and make it simple. A man could have multiple females and a woman could have multiple males. So
Okay, all right, cool. All right, go on through Yodi.
yeah, one of the things that when we talk about historically, we need to make the distinction between what is Afrocentric historicity and what is European facade, because what we don't talk about when you talk about the old historical Europe is the fact that the first son is the only one that's going to get anything. So the second, third, fourth, and the illegitimate bastard sons that are throughout the whole kingdom, nobody not going to get anything. So that is one of the things that is a driving factor behind European imperialism as well, because people have to go out and get them own treasure because them is the king's son and them not get nothing.
So
Or marry
Putting that
rich.
to one side,
Or marry rich.
putting that to one side, what I was talking about though is the values, because you're talking about having a pussy policy, but really and truly, what needs to happen is that men need to start putting some value on themselves.
So you need a body policy.
Yes.
Yeah, because you see what my mother taught me. My mother grew me different still. You know? My mother tell me that I must put my finger in my ear, wiggle it around, and then tell her where it is that I feel more sensitivity. And usually it is in the ear, not on my finger.
Right.
So how my mother broke it down for me is that it is the woman who should be paying the man for sex, because it is she who benefits the most from it.
Rotted.
Oh dear, you see?
You understand? So this pussy policy that we want to have and this transactional thing, and we need to go back to being gentlemen and
hold on, ladies.
What needs to happen is that at the end of the day,
ladies,
you women need to be coughing up money out on the bank account, because well, maybe not all of us, but some of us are laying pipe.
All right. Hold on, right. This is Officer Yodi.
Okay.
Hold on, Frenchie. Hold on, Frenchie. You see, the thing is, no, he missed the first show on the orgasm.
That's what I was just about to say.
And that is why if Uno end up here and two, Uno set it up bad from morning, cause from one
No.
men start.
I didn't miss the first show.
Listen, how
other man them decide say we want to own all of you females, so we will what them call it, dowry, whatever it is. So Uno set it up on yourself from beginning.
Let me elaborate,
Frenchie, go on through Frenchie.
Because here's the thing, there is no saying that men are not valued and should not also have a body policy. Of course, you know what I mean, especially if what they're bringing to the table is great. However, I see my thing is like this. However you treat a woman, she will treat you in kind plus more. You understand? That's the policy. I'm not saying that the body not good and we're not fair upon for sex. Listen, someone to build up on a sex like say the greatest thing in the world. You understand? Someone, it's not all great all the time.
Thank you, Lauren.
Every man can lay a good pipe, and those who lay a good pipe and a pipe alone. You understand? Yeah, lay a good pipe.
I'm not so sure where you talk about. It's a different thing.
Yeah, lay a good pipe for what? After the laying of the pipe, what? After she give you good pussy, what? You understand? It's not just about the sexuality of the thing. It's not about the sexuality of the thing, you understand? Because
all right.
No, I don't know about
me personally.
Hold on, let us clarify.
I'm not talking about all the other women in the world, but however, I don't see that bringing pussy alone is just something that is valuable. You understand? A woman brings so much things. As Adriana said earlier in the comments, we really do get attached. And when we rate you, like you see the values that you reap and you can't complain. Because not only do we fuck you good, but we cook, we clean, we take care of the babies, we go to work, we are go school, we are do all of them things. The only sick one day I flew, they can't get from that work because the little sniffle. You understand? We bring so much things to the table. So what you say?
All right, hold on, ladies. This I get eaten now. So I'm gonna come calm it down and bring it back now to the policy part of the argument. I know you want to answer. and we are at roughly 40 minutes into the show. No, we're not. We're about 35 minutes into the show. So I can give you just this response. I can give you like a 2-minute response, and then I'm gonna actually shift it back to the three of us. I'm gonna get back to the pussy policy conversation. Right. I do want you guys to, just like Mr. Yodi here has done, if you do have something that is burning and you want to say it, simply ask. I'll reach out to you to try to get you into the studio and to talk, to have your voice heard. All right. So Yodi, over to you, sir. Your 2-minute response, just like the national debates were just done. Great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I don't know. I think one of the things that is happening is that Frenchie and I are at cross purposes. Because I am not at any point in time trying to say that you shouldn't, or I at no point in time am I trying to be an advocate for there being any unevenness in the yoking of any relationship. You should find somebody who you and they bring the same things to the table. Because if the issue is resources for pussy, then what we're dealing with is prostitution, as was said earlier. So if all the pussy policy is about is a transaction, then as Munashe said, let's just be clear about that so that we would know that we're dealing with the prostitution and it's not a relationship. But when you're going down into analysis of relationship now and all these different things and what you're bringing to the table, that's a completely different conversation. And the fact of the matter is that most Jamaican women are not ready to have that conversation because most of them bring nothing to the table but pussy.
That is true.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Yodi, sir. And thank you for your time. It was great having you. Again, anybody else online, feel free just to jump in and to share as you so choose. And we will have you in. All right. Thank you again, Yodi. It was great having you. Ladies, Yodi left on a pretty big note. That the fact that there's a pussy policy in place is usually a tool that is used by somebody who all them is bringing to the table is that pussy. So they have to put a pussy policy in place to protect themselves. What's the feeling on that? And but before you even go into the feeling on that, before Uno even go into the feeling on that, I really want to hear some more about this body policy thing because I agree.
The comments on fire.
Yeah, man, some real scammer. Some real scammer.
Andre had something to say?
No, man, him just said, look, them woman, they're a real scammer. And
no,
then Lorraine
said me. So
oh, you have something to say, Mr. Guthrie? Shall we bring you in studio or let me know? Just drop me a message and I'll see what I can say. Lorraine saying we can role play and we pay each other. Ratted. And you know, so me not even look on that devil dick something there. Me leave that alone.
Oh my God!
Run very fast.
That's left of the subject right now.
Beer things. Can't manage that.
But let me jump in and say, though, you know, I've so many times, and it's always a lot of young women. I've seen so many of these things on social media, where they're all talking about a man gotta pay and a man this and I'm a whole package and he has to pay, and I shake my head. Because as I said earlier, you set yourself up for a lot of things. A lot of women get into transactional relationships and a lot of men bring that to the table. He might not say it, but he comes first with his money. I've had it happen to me.
And vice versa.
As a single mother, I've had men, the first thing they want to say, you know, I can help you take care of your kids. I'm like, I didn't say I needed help taking care of my kids. You know, or I can buy you this. I remember there was a particular man way back when I was younger. He was really coming at me, but I was not into him. And no money, we grew up around money, so money not frightened me. Maybe he didn't realize that. And him come on my house with a rather expensive gift. Even though I took, because I remember I went out to lunch with him. He didn't ask, it wasn't a date. Right. It was some friends of his that he was in there and him said, come on. I said, since it's a group thing, let me go. And while we were out, he kept wanting to buy me things. And I said, no, because I didn't like him that way. And I don't believe in use. I said, too many people do it. Too many women do it. They don't like the person, but they're taking things. I don't believe in that. And he came, and I kept refusing. And he came to my house one day with a very expensive gift. I'm going to throw it back to him. Right? And I made that stance from day one. And I never ventured from it. But I see so many young women, that is the first thing. The man lead with the money and then jump on it. Or them start talk about what a man must pay for. You set yourself up. So when we hear the news, and I'm not saying anybody have a right to do this, so please nobody not jump on me. But a woman puts herself in a position where a man then turn around and kill her when he feels said she want to leave or she'll give her the pum pum. We have to think about the position we put ourselves in if this is how we see it. That's
right,
just sell yourself and done.
More put in a small challenge here, so because on a couple points, because here's my thing when I hear you say that, no, Munashe. When you start off, the first thing one jump on you and kind of cuss you about is you say people and hearing these young women saying, yo, she valid this, she valid that. But then we were just saying that if you have a pussy policy, whereas the money is the thing, say it up front. All she is doing is she's not saying I am a prostitute selling, but she'll say it up front. If you come, you have to come with your roll of cash because this is my value. Now, granted, if you go to her and say, yo, you sell pussy, she's going to say, no, she not sell pussy because in her mind, she's not opening a store where any customer can walk in and say, yo, I want that. And she has to deliver it. Right? That's not what she's doing. But she is saying, listen, if you're coming for this, understand you have to go put down a little thing on the night side table when you get up. And don't feel say, I'm going to sleep and make you leave without you put it down. Because I defend my own. Right? So we have to be careful not to land in a contradictory space where we say they must say it, but because they not say it the way we want to hear it, we not qualify them as saying it. You get me?
No, but then the thing, don't try wrap that up in a relationship. Because that's, I guess it's a part of relationship.
Yeah.
But you understand? What I'm saying is that I've seen when the man step up and say, but this way I do. Then she start going like she pretty. And that is where I start shake my head.
Oh, okay, I agree with you.
Front, and if so it come, because the same girl in that video, when the man look on her and say, oh yeah, go on so, more on pussy. And she said, I'm tired, more whatever. And he said, no, I'm pay for that. Anyhow, she turn on and go like she pretty, no mega laugh after her. Because she just don't say, you have to pay feet. And
if I may ask a question.
And she also said, when you pay feet, it don't come with stress. But she has stressed the man right there, so.
True. Go on, true, Frenchie.
What are the criteria of having a pussy policy, by the way? Because, like, in nowadays, like, I've seen it many times. Like, you go somewhere, you see a nice girl, she dress nice, she look nice, she's well kept together, she put together, you know, she might, let's say she's going, she go play bingo, and the man, winning card, when you catch a man, you bingo. However, this same girl, you know, she probably have like 5 picnics, she don't really live nowhere nice, one little mattress in her living room, but yet still, she want a man to give her a lavish life, like, you know. And, you know, certain time when them go somewhere, certain man can't talk to them. So if them go on party and them see a man a dig out him and miggle, they can't talk to her. However, she not live no better life than the man. So is that the policy then, even though she live poor, she have an expensive policy, like, is that even fair? You know what I mean? Other than somebody who actually can afford that lifestyle and still no want certain man talk to her.
All right, hold on then. I'm going to step out to that one and make Munashe answer that one, because it seems as though Mr. Guthrie actually wanted to join us, and I did not realize that he did.
Yeah, man, that's why I said when him said me.
Oh, all right. Let me action that right now. Just very quickly, Frenchie. When you talk about when I hear about a pussy policy, what I think about is that a woman has a certain set of conditions put in place in order to get the pussy. Now, I am a little bit more, I'm a little less on the transactional side. So I feel that, my core belief is that every woman have a policy, right? Whether or not that policy is something that is more financial or it is more service oriented or whatever, that's a different thing altogether. But
Yeah.
I feel that the whole owner have some kind of a policy.
Because I have a
Um,
policy. It's not money for it though, but yeah, I agree with you because I have a policy.
So, but then no, what I find is that that policy tends to be around the engagement, so the start of the relationship, which is where no what your comment was coming in, because you see her nice but she have 5 picnic, because her plan, and I'm guessing the ones that are more cash oriented, her plan only covered the start of the relationship and getting that first paycheck, and staying in a position where you pay for what you get. Now what happened is she never did plan to catch feelings about the body. But as Lorraine did say earlier, the devil did liquor in her side corner. And as Coyote pointed out, women have more feelings towards particular things, because whatever, we don't know the biology of it, we just go with what the man said. Now, if that is the case, then even if you have a transactional pussy policy, unless you have a particular kind of mental workup, then you are going to be stuck in positions like what Munashe is talking about. Because unless you don't work out how this thing start, how the middle part of it go, and how it end, you're gonna find yourself get tricked. Because old man gonna tell you, say, yo, you what go on. Such and such and such and such. Mr. Guthrie, by the way, I've sent you a link that would allow you to get in and talk to us. So all you need to do is click on that link. There we go. And then we can get that going.
Why Mr. Smith want to know my business? Mr. Smith, my policy is that if he ain't licking, he ain't sticking.
Ratted.
Come.
Bringing Mr. Doc Dre into it. All right.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Dre.
Oh,
you are live with TwepTwep. Yes, sir. You are live with TwepTwep.
Well, thanks for giving me one boss, you see.
You don't know.
So you are right, I'm not go off on no tangent. It's how I see everything based on what we're talking about is all about demand and supply, yeah?
Yeah.
And what happens that the demand is that men based on ideology or behavioral or however you are brought up believe that one more girl, whole heap of girl, bungalow girl. All right, cool.
Right.
So based on those philosophies, right? How it went is that once upon a time, women, they used to have sex for sex. But nowadays, because life has gotten harder and things, women have seen where it don't make any sense. It don't make no sense or value to them that me give me front. At the end of the day, I'm a suffer. Either I left me with one baby, left me with one STD, left me with some problems, left me with something, and I'm me one of the face because I cannot walk away. And then, you understand me? So with that said, no, then say, all right, we have to monetize this thing. Hence why I see it saying now that they have put a value on the pussy. Because that's what it really boils down to now, where it becomes a barter, a trade system now. So it's no longer for fun and frolic. It's now about what I can get from it, no matter how small or how large the item is. So with that said, no, that is why now they have like harped on this point since the 90s to be exact, for those who that have been around that long. And then from then till now, that is what I've been seeing, and you see it every day. That point where I raised earlier, as you date, you go the first time, and then the girl size you up. You understand me? You never care one little corner bar as I forget her name, the co-host said, corner bar, Ray. So in Kerry, I go to an AC hotel or a nice bar place and buy a bottle of wine.
Hotel for pay for some advert,
Yes. So you see me, so then all of a sudden, in our mind, the tone of hand go up, you understand? Because I say, yeah, the cycle. So what you start think? And this is things that I talk to women from all walks of life about, and then tell me, then can start things right away. Me that bust a baby for the youth, I can look like him stable. Or two, all right, I can put him for my lineup and look like him so I could have managed my light bill. The next thing is like, oh, all right, by the time I go fling pussy on him, I go give him the best time life, and then hopefully I can say to him, so players they want to say me run into a little issue and my pick me going, me have no arm to pay the boss man to pick him up or her a morning. So you don't know man if I can lend me 1,600 till the end of the week. Cause them love use lend, you know, not give. Because lend thing off five. When they say give now, the man I go say, oh the boss said me I just rate. But if they say lend now, then when man call the boss, you know man I go say, you know want something like him and Mr. Cookie back. So him I go say, oh alright, yeah man, me lend you because with the hopes of then no, when man get idea and say, yo, alright, me been a give you money, you know. I wonder if should have give me a threesome. They fire, we are talk about and all that.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
So you see, this situation will never be a win-win. Neither will it be a lose-lose. It's just who plays the better game.
All right.
Rebut me.
All right. Appreciate Mr. Dre. Me drop a little thing right here. You know, at some point in time, we start look some sponsorship from some of them people because even though everything is everything, you know, there are some people that really capture the time at hand. And I think Govey has been able to capture the time at hand. You get me? I don't know if who a right theme, you know, but or if I'm right theme self. I'm not saying that I come on some want a sponsorship from him. So I'm not saying nobody not right theme. Nobody not right theme. You're Govey.
Oh, you borrow poems.
Right, all your borrow poems. You can loan it, but you can't borrow it.
No, because Mr. Buckle say I'm never yet able to borrow some poem.
You understand?
So Larry ain't gonna say, oh, you borrow poems.
Wait
a minute, Buckle.
Can I answer, please? Can I?
Yeah, man, go on through.
Oh, you borrow the poom though. Boom, me girl, suppose you rent due 40 grand. 40 grand, make sure you pick me them now out the street. Then furthermore, you say to me, say, babe, you know, say, I did expect some money from my family abroad, but me never get it all. I buy some groceries, right? How dare you think now, say you can only give me one time for the week? Nah. So that means, you know, it's like a down payment. So I borrow it at least say 4 or 5 times to the week out of the 7 days of the week.
So
it's like a pay forward. It's like down
credit.
payment.
It depends on credit.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Here what Govey said.
And that's a bigger money.
We don't want to talk about that part then. No, you hear that lyrics
I'm not like that song
right.
bad still. We know so we're gonna debate the facts and but that song it loud.
Mr. Dre, I'm gonna take you out of the room for a little bit, please.
Yeah, man, go ahead, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Bless up. Yeah, so this little bit of money thing, we don't have no whole heap of time left, but I think it makes a salient point, especially with regards to this entire pussy policy thing. Because obviously, if you're going to enter that kind of a transactional relationship, you can't come to the young lady with no little bit of money, right? So the man I say, yo, here what you borrow your brethren car and you go floss her and fuck her and thing, and then boom, she meet him and she realize say, yo, him pay money bigger, so she fuck him too. How that work? And Mr. Buckle has a very important question. Him want to borrows. Anybody can lend him?
Oh, yeah, right.
Him say put it in halfway.
No, well, I guess the one way you can borrow it, you know, if it's somebody else own, if it's another man own, and so she anyway. Fair copy and then give it back.
We not take on Buckle, but talk to me now.
I don't feel some Mr. Buckle question for we. I just feel him put it out there to see.
Lorena, send him to the naughty corner. But yeah, the idea of of the pussy policy being, because I think what goes hand in hand with the pussy policy is the idea of promiscuity, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just one person shall run this policy upon, or the policy is not an exclusive policy. Yeah.
Also,
So it would seem, because it looked like she have one for the light, one for the groceries, and as Dr. Dre did say before he was leaving, she have put it on credit with some other one for the telephone bill, and them with it, right? So why
them just can't meet each other?
them just scam or look on our phone when it a ring, because you know say them they on the phone as the bill with them pay. But yeah, but quite frankly, like where does and I think we have to treat with that element of it before we end, even though we're at 5 minute, folks. We're at the 5 minute mark, folks, but we do need to treat with that bit of it. Mr. Smith says policy equal profit. So it will share up to where the profit going to go as best as possible. And following that, Mr. Booker said it is exclusive if you have exclusive money. Right?
He has a point.
So those two things I think go together. Like the policy is wherever she can get the greatest profit. So if she getting small profit, she have to do like Chinese. If you get it, sorry, I apologize. That was rather racist of me. It's because of a Jamaican show. Let me take it back in case nobody hear this, right? But as we would say in Jamaica, a little bit of profit you sell only for goods, right? Small price sell whole heap, and you bill a liquor. But talk to me about that, ladies. Are we really just licking out against the people who can't get the big money man them because of them station in life? Because really and truly every woman have a policy. So we shouldn't be licking out against having a policy. It should be that we're licking out against something else. Is that really what we're saying? Or are we saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, remember, I started by saying we all have a policy. I have a policy. But the video that we were coming from, she really spoke a lot of BS. And that's what got to me.
Right.
Right? But we all have a policy. We all have, even men have policy too. You know, it's just that unfortunately a lot of their policy has no self-respect. Some of them policy is enough girl, how much pum pum we can lick down in a 1 week. Some of them policy
words.
But very few men, like Mr. Smith pointed out, have that self-respect and just know say he can say no. And the man that says no, buckle on the man they can talk to this. My God, had them woman run down because I don't know why something wrong. So a man tell a woman no. But getting back to the point, yeah, everybody have a policy. I know professional women who came from middle upper class background that they tell you up front they will not date a man that is not worth a certain amount. That's their policy. Now, when them do it, it don't seem so bad because them rich too. And you can say, all right, money beget money, and yeah, you couldn't see her marrying a man below her or whatever. But that wouldn't that be a transactional relationship also?
Trust me, it did it too. And I do agree.
Different. It packaged different and it don't look as messy as my girl saying you gotta pay for the pussy.
Right. Boy, all right. So at 2 minutes out from the time, I know we haven't wrapped this up in a nice bag, but I mean I think it's better we leave it as a question. You guys can always go over to the website at TwepTwep.com. That's TwepTwep.com, and we'll be posting a little section there for you to give some feedback on this particular thing. But I mean, let's leave the questions. Like, is it true? Is it really that the idea behind this pussy policy thing is that it is acceptable if you're getting exclusive money for exclusivity, but it is not acceptable if you have to do a whole heap of sales because you get small profits in each one?
Yep.
Is it something else? Is there really this need for promiscuity? Is it more frequent amongst women of color, of darker color, right? How this really going to Jamaica? Because me even hear about this Burger King list,
socioeconomic background,
and all of these things. Frenchie, as the guest host, we have 1 minute left. I'm going to ask you to take us out tonight, and we'll jump on there. The request is for the site is for me to show the site, so I'll do that right now. But while I do that, you just give us your last thoughts and if we run out.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it all boils down to what Munashe said. We all have policies, males and females. You know, some female think it's how they live. If a man pay for everything, them have them sugar daddy, them not for work, them have this lavish life. You know, them do threesome, foursome, orgy, switch, swing, everything. And some woman just work for them, have and just enjoy the company of a man who can match her. Like whatever your thing is, like do it. You understand? Whatever your policy is, how little or small, the policy is there. You know, Sheldon say everybody pay for pussy directly or indirectly. It's true. So if you're in a relationship, you pay indirectly. You know, you put in the years, you put in the time, you put in the effort. So yeah, we all have a policy. Men have them too, women have them too. There's certain things, you know, as women, some women now go do. So whatever people want to do, them just have to do it. And,
right.
You know,
Just
that's
live your truth.
Live your truth.
Live
all right,
your
guys.
truth. Frenchie out.
Frenchie. All right, guys. It's 11
nice
p.m.
having you, Frenchie.
Thank you so
It was great
much.
having you, Frenchie.
Merci beaucoup. Merci tout le monde. Bisous.
Boom, boom, boom. TwepTwep.com, guys. We're here every first and third Thursday for our live shows, and every second and fourth Thursday we have the Evolved Punani with Munashe. It's a little 15-minute podcast that you can listen to and take a learning from. So thank you for being here. We're just about to end the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Next week we're trying to take over the world, but we're using the Evolved Punani to take over the world with Munashe. So you can look out for the Evolved Punani post on our website at around 5 p.m. And that will allow you to take to get a good little the Evolved Punani is focused on females. But the men can listen as well to hear what a woman must say about them. So thank you a lot, guys.
It doesn't have beef curtains. Asking for a friend.
I tell you. All right, guys. Thanks much, and TwepTwep out. I'm gonna drop just some music to play in the background while we go. That's our website, so feel free to visit it. And we are out of here. We're just gonna be playing some music for the next 5 minutes. Bye, guys.
We ain't got nowhere to be. We've got a moment to breathe and watch the clouds roll by. There's no such thing as time when You don't have to say anything. I don't want you to think too much. Let our bodies soak in the sun. Yeah, there's no need to run, no rush. You're my caffeine in the morning. Got me feeling like I'm on top of the world. No, we don't try to impress. Baby, we're not like the rest, oh. Just sitting on the steps outside. The stillness frees our mind. You don't have to say anything. I don't want you to think too much. Let our bodies soak in the sun. Yeah, there's no need to run. You're my caffeine in the morning. me feeling like I'm on top of the world. You don't have to say anything. I don't want you to think too much. Let our bodies soak in the sun. Yeah, there's no need to run. You're my caffeine in the morning. Got me feeling like I'm on top of the world. You're my caffeine in the morning. Got me feeling like I'm on top of the world. You're my caffeine.
And that's it from TwepTwep tonight, guys. Had a good run. Love that you were all here. See you next week for the Evolved Punani with Munashe, and the week after for Whispers. Remember, if you do have your erotica, whether in poetry, short stories, or confessions, you can submit it to us via the TwepTwep.com website. Have a great one. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.